plaintiff, Deetra Richter, says the defendant is her mother, and she will stop at nothing to break up Deetra and her fiancé. Deetra claims the defendant falsely accused her fiancé of being abusive, and she even sexually groped him. She's suing for moving expenses and unreturned property. Defendant Robin Van Horn insists she has witnessed Deetra's fiancé physically and mentally abuse Deetra and her children, and the police have even gotten involved. She's countersuing for storage fees and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Everything was going fine with my mother until she moved in the beginning of March, and she would stop at nothing to try to break my fiance and I up. She's went to the extent of sexually groping him and...
Ma'am, did you grab her?
Your Honor, no, I didn't.
Go ahead, ma'am. You think it was for her sexual pleasure?
I don't know what it was for. She's just not wanted me with him.
Walking by and...
They would play around and then she...
Accidentally?
I have no idea. She'd play around and then grab him. She's even done it in front of her now husband. But she would stop at nothing to try to break us up.
Why do you think that is?
She doesn't like him.
Why?
I have no idea.
What has she said to you about it?
Just that he's supposedly abusive when I'm not around.
Oh, he's abusive toward her?
I'm guessing, because he's never been, he's been verbally loud with me, but never to the point of aggressive with me.
But you're saying, she's saying he's abusive when you're not around?
Yes.
He twist her arm or something? What you think?
I don't know why. She just does not like him.
She make that swing and he grabbed that arm.
She just doesn't like him.
What has the relationship with your daughter been like over the years? Why don't you give me some background on that?
Over the years, Your Honor, my daughter and I have been very close. Yes, she has made wrong mistakes in her life. I have rescued her whenever she called.
What type of mistakes?
Being with the wrong men. The men are abusive, child molester, you name it. Your Honor, I went through a bad divorce situation. Therefore, I am experiencing and have witnessed him abusing her, abusing my grandchildren.
Physically?
Physically and mentally.
And when you've spoken to her about it, what has she said? She
says that I'm just jealous. Go on. We'll be fine.
Got it.
You're not going to be fine in a situation. I found that out.
The police ever been called to your knowledge?
Yes, they were called the morning that we were told we had to get out at 3 a.m.
That's the moving she's
living with
about?
My daughter and her boyfriend, husband at the time. I stated, does that mean you and my grandchildren? She stated yes. Well, I'm packing up all my belongings in my little room. I get ready to leave and I thought, why isn't she packing? The statement was, I'm staying here to wait on my stimulus check. You're gonna stay in an abusive situation with my grandchildren, but yet you told me you and the children and I had to get out.
And what did she do? Did she stay?
She stayed.
She hasn't left, obviously.
No.
Okay. Ma'am, you want to give me any further light?
I'm just curious what physical abuse he's done to me, because he's not done anything.
And the police haven't been called? She says even the police have been
She's
called.
the one that's actually called them.
And said what?
That he's, the one incident was he got mad and I was across the room and he threw a cup and it had some liquid in it and it went towards the ceiling. It wasn't even at me. I was across the room and...
He was throwing it at the ceiling as a form of
just aggressive.
Recreation?
No, it was just his aggressive.
Towards you?
No, it wasn't towards me. I was at the left side of the room.
In response to an argument between the two of you, he threw something on the other side of you.
Yes, it was the night that she was told to leave the apartment.
Okay, let's get into that. Tell me what happened that night.
He had been in a bad mood and he woke up and her now husband had been there over a week It was not agreed upon that her husband could stay there that long. He wasn't on the lease. She wasn't on the lease. And he didn't want any more attention drawn to him because previously she'd called the cops and there was other noise complaints. And so we had decided, he told me, wake her up, tell her to leave. I woke her up, I told her to leave. I never said anything that I was leaving that night when she left. I told her that I was waiting on my stimulus check and then I would decide whether I was leaving or not.
Okay, and is that the only time he's gotten aggressive with you physically, is throwing something at you or throwing something that missed you and hit another area during an argument?
Yes.
Why do you think your mother is saying this? Because she's jealous?
It's not that she's jealous, she just doesn't
Like him?
Yes.
How about the other guys that you've been with? She doesn't like them either?
Nope.
Why do you think that is?
Because she thinks that they're not good enough for me.
Okay. Are they? Obviously. You feel they have been?
One or two of them have been, yes.
How many have not?
3 of them.
All right. So I think she has a reason to be concerned with her daughter if her daughter has been in 3 abusive relationships and the current fiance throws things when there's an argument. Whether she saw any other abuse or whether she saw an aggression or an anger that she knows leads toward physical abuse because she's seen it many times, she was right. She rightfully. I don't like him either. And I've never even met him. Tell me about these moving expenses and property you're suing for.
When I left the apartment in May, my fiance and I agreed that he would get the help that he needed and he could go to Huntington with us.
Okay.
And in which he did get the help. And then the day after it was announced to my mother that he did get the help and was waiting for an appointment, she then turned around and called the sheriff's department in Huntington and said that there was an altercation between my fiance, her now husband, and herself.
Well, let me change my statement then about him. I like him in the sense that he's seeking help. So I'll take that back. Most men are too proud, they won't, and they're scared of stigmas and all kind of other things. So I admire his courage. But how does she owe?
She didn't even...
What was the agreement?
When we left Carmel initially, she had agreed that she would help the movers because back at that time I had gotten sick and I was off of work for over a month. And
help them how? Did she say money or help lift the couch or what?
Money-wise, to help me. I had to foot the bill for the movers to get it from Carmel to the storage unit because she did end up, and I made an agreement with her prior to the moving expenses that once I get my tax check, because she does watch my children while I worked, that I would give her $1,000 out of that the tax money that I get out of my return. Well, then the moving expenses came and I had to get her items out of the possession of the moving company or he was going to take it and auction off the remaining items that were on his truck. I told her, either I get the stuff out of storage and you help pay me back or you don't get the $1,000. She wanted to argue with me. I had to get her stuff because if I didn't get her stuff, she would... She
didn't choose either? She didn't make either choice?
No, because it became an argument and I just dropped the whole issue.
Ma'am, what do you say about this, the moving incident?
On the moving incident, she agreed to get away from the abuse. My fiance and I met her at the apartment, tried to get everything out of the apartment before he got back. Because he is abusive, she wanted to get away. We got everything out of the apartment. Then we moved everything into my storage unit in Noblesville. The agreement was I would watch her children every year and she would give me $1,000 for watching them. During the move into the storage unit, her fiance, husband, got in an altercation with the moving company. Therefore, most of my belongings, they repacked up and took in their truck until the final payment came because her boyfriend, fiance, husband did not hear the amount in the first place. That is why I got upset.
You never agreed, though, beforehand?
She basically said, I'm not giving you $1,000, or do you want a roof over your head? That's basically a threat to me.
Where had you all moved to at that point if things were in storage? Where did you live?
My fiance and I moved to Super 8. They came a week later, and they stayed with us.
Okay.
3 weeks passed by that no help came for her boyfriend, fiance. Like my fiance said, 3 weeks or he's out because of the abuse. 6 weeks came by. What does he do? What does she do? As I'm watching the children, they're laying in bed, playing Xbox, having a good old time. He called the police, had him escorted out of the room, but we told the sheriff, my daughter and my grandchildren can stay because I do not want them in that abusive situation.
Okay. And, ma'am, she never agreed to any moving expenses.
When we originally started looking for movers, she had said that she would help.
How much? What part?
At least half of it.
Did you tell her that, ma'am?
No.
This is a lot of money. The total moving cost was how much? I see you suing for $43.88.
It was $16.86.
$16.86. And
Is page 5.
what percent of it was yours? Of the furniture or the items moved?
The items that were moved that were mine, I'd say maybe less than 5% of what was
It was
there.
95% her items that were moved?
Yes.
Ma'am, is that true?
Actually, Your Honor, half of that storage unit is hers due to her furniture, the children's clothes.
How about the property you're suing for?
It would be the TV that's in there, and then
She's withholding?
Yes,
Until
and-
you pay? That's what she's told you?
pretty much.
All right. Ma'am, is that the reason you're withholding her property?
Your Honor, that is not true. She had placed a PO on me. Therefore, I asked them before all this came about on the protective order to please come get your things out of my storage unit. They didn't. Therefore, there went a PO on me because of a different situation. I cannot talk to her. I cannot write her. Therefore, the things are in my storage.
You mean because of different situation? What'd you do to somebody this time? Your hand was swinging again? What happened, ma'am?
She stated that I abused my granddaughter, and she's been putting all over Facebook that my fiance is a pedophile, and
Ma'am, you
none
do
of this is true.
You do this?
I did not do that. There was an investigation done when I left Huntington, Indiana, as for the
Who
the abuse.
requested the investigation?
I did because I witnessed things that her now husband was doing to my daughter.
All right. And $24.77, that's the storage fees for the property that you won't give back?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you want to keep it and then charge her?
No, Your Honor, I am not the
You're a
type.
straight up thug. You jump on people, take folks' property, extort them out of it. Police incidents, the more we talk, the more I hear about a police incident involving you. Talk 10 more minutes, how many more cases she had?
I have no idea.
Every time I turn around, I'm talking to a police officer or a judge.
Thank you. I can
sorry.
tell.
I'm sorry.
I know a thug when I see her, or when I hear her. The emotional distress is for what?
Her bringing me to court over, excuse my language, stupidityness, because I am not the type of a mother who would take her belongings. Her child's birth certificates are in there. Her medications are in there, which she should have on hand, if you ask me. She doesn't give her daughter her medications every morning like she's supposed to.
That's your emotional distress. That's what you should have been calling CPS about. Or if they came to speak with someone, that's one of the things you should have made clear.
Your Honor, the reason I haven't is because her boyfriend, fiance, being very abusive and threatening my fiance and I
Yeah, but you,
on having other people come after us and it's best I don't talk with
Okay.
him.
And you paid the moving expenses already?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what, your receipt is in here?
Yes, it is. It's the page 5.
And
where it's
you
the
all both had
professional.
properties there. So what's half of 1686?
Okay. 843.
843. I'm going to grant you that, 843. And with regard to her property, if she's not allowed to get her property within 2 weeks, I'm going to grant her the property judgment of $2,702. With regard to your storage fees, you can't keep the woman's things and then charge her for it too. That's, like I said, that's the height of gangsterism. You keep it and then charge them for keeping it. That's I used to do. I used to rob the kids at the little drug dealers at school. I used to rob them and then sell them their drugs back the next day. Worse than I was.
Your Honor, I'm not
that's
keeping
bad. Pardon?
I'm not keeping them. She willingly put all her belongings in my storage.
Well, I'm not going to grant you anything. I'm giving you a break and not requiring you to pay the full amount of the moving expenses. I'm cutting it in half. Give her half of the moving expenses, $843. And ma'am, I'm not granting you anything. And I hope you all can get along. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
Plaintiff Miguel Waiters says the defendant is his older sister, and she was always a bully. Miguel claims when he was 15, the defendant attacked him, and he still has the scars to this day. Miguel is suing his sister for a wrongful eviction. Defendant Paula Bullocks insists she and Miguel have never had a physical fight. Paula claims Miguel has been abusing cocaine for 15 to 20 years and was even selling drugs out of their elderly mother's home. She's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. Me and my sister, we have the same mother, different fathers. As kids coming up, my sister was always the ruly one, the bully. Always kind of kept us in check, even when we didn't need it. I can remember back to when I was 15 years old. My sister attacked me. I still have those scars today.
Why did she do that?
My mother had been working late, and she called home and told her to cook us dinner. And her dinner consisted of hot dogs and popcorn. And I told her I wouldn't eat it. And today I still have the bite mark and the
That is
nail
not
mark.
true.
How old was she?
I believe she was pregnant with her first son. She was about 16, 17 years old.
16, 17, and you were 15.
Yes.
Couldn't get away.
Exactly.
No, I didn't want to hit
Get
my
away.
pregnancy.
Get away.
didn't want-
Get away. You couldn't get away at age 15.
Yes, I probably
From
could
a girl.
have, but being 15 years old and not having the mind of an adult, you do what a 15.
Where are you from?
From Kankakee, Illinois.
That's a tough town, Kankakee. South.
Well, being 15, you don't know how to get out of a fight.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Let me
Your
hear
Honor,
from
that's-
you what
that's not
happened in
true.
this instance.
Me and him never have ever had a physical
You
fight.
didn't bite him and all
Never
that?
bit him or anything. Now he had a fight and over drugs, and this was way back.
What type
I
of
won't say
drugs?
that he was 15 at that particular time.
What
but
type of drugs?
Cocaine, marijuana.
Your Honor, that's a
It
lie.
still is
Okay.
till this day on drugs.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
I bet you couldn't pass the test right now.
I'll take one right now. Your Honor.
All right. So I was just trying to understand, see if we starting out wrong. You couldn't get away from a 17-year-old.
Pregnant
At a pregnant 17-year-old at age 15.
Come on.
What else you want me to know about your
Okay, Your
relationship
Honor,
with
just
her?
to give you a little bit more, I was barbecuing a few years back. I gave my next door neighbor, a young lady, a couple of pieces of chicken. At the time, my sister was out there. She was drinking this drink called Croc or Ciroc, and she got upset and an argument ensued. From
Your
that
Honor, that's
argument,
another lie.
From that argument, Your Honor, my sister told me she would shoot me, she would kill me and shoot my son in the head.
Well, then you should see who got the gun charge.
I proceeded to go into the house and let my mother know who basically didn't do anything.
What were you all arguing about again?
She got upset because I gave a pretty young neighbor some
Ask him,
barbecue.
did he buy it?
Be quiet.
I cooked some ribs and chicken and gave some to the
And
next
she
door
wanted to
neighbor.
shoot you and your son in the head for that?
No, I had a yard full of people. She lives in Milwaukee. I live in Illinois.
All right.
So I had a yard full of people. We were barbecuing. My sister had been drinking, and she got mad because I gave this girl some food that she thought was hers. But
That's what I just said. She wanted to shoot you in the head for
Yeah.
giving away some chicken.
that's exactly what
All
happened.
right,
Your Honor.
and you thought your sister might shoot you and your son, right?
Right.
In the head
Yo, my
for giving
nephew-
away a couple of pieces of chicken. That's
Yes,
what
sir,
you
Your
thought?
Honor. That's
All right.
exactly what happened. And
You
then,
thought it would happen. That's my point. You believed it so much so you took that mess to your mama.
exactly.
All right,
because
go ahead.
My
Finish up.
sister, after she said that, she walked to
Who
the
has
car.
she shot in the head before?
Well, my sister shot herself before in the leg.
I said, who has she shot in the head?
I don't know.
Got it. Let me hear from her.
Your Honor, my brother has been on drugs for over 15, 20 years.
Sounds
That's
like
a
it.
lie, Your Honor.
15, 20 years. Until because I used to go get my mother from Illinois and bring her down to Wisconsin for spring break. He has sold everything out of her house.
That's
when I
another
said
lie,
everything out of her house, everything out of her house.
That's a lie.
Then he claimed that he had got cleaned up and that he was no longer doing drugs. She recently got sick, and if you go and you look at the if you go look at from page from 9 to page
Starting, it's a
13.
pink. This is it.
Where I
9.
had to do an order of protection by the nursing home request because he was going up and thinking he can bully my mama to take her house keys from her because he had went to jail. My other brother that I gave money to get her house fixed up because he had left with a mess, been living with her for years, never paid a bill, don't do anything but just take.
That's all a
and
lie, Your
he
Honor.
take. And then he turns,
This is restraining order, not a lie.
yeah.
Go ahead.
And so then, if you look in there, she had me to write it because she was sick. She did sign off on it. I also have a videotape. She would tell you what he was doing, bringing people in her house, doing drugs in her house.
Let me hear that, because he said everything you said was a lie.
Your Honor.
I got you.
How
No,
can
no.
Stealing.
See what mama say.
My name is Annie Mathis, and I want you to know that the reason I evicted my son was because he was doing things in my home and having other people come in and hunting around and stealing stuff out of my home, selling it. That's what he was doing. And so I asked my daughter when she came to help me evict him out of my house. And that's exactly what we done. I didn't ask her to do anything other than that. It's to help me get my son out of my house. That was the best thing for me at that time.
Either your mother's a big liar or you did it.
She a
Which
big
one
liar.
is she? A big liar.
You gonna sit there and call your mama a liar?
Good enough. All right. And what else you want to tell me about the situation with your brother?
What
Background information?
The background
Anything
information.
else? Go ahead. Drug addict and your mama lied. She's a big liar. What else you want me to
A
know?
grown man like him to live in her house, don't pay no bills, don't volunteer. He don't do nothing.
I've done everything, Your Honor.
And then on
my
top,
sister lives in Milwaukee.
I'm not talking to you.
top
You
of
be
that,
quiet.
Your Honor, he was getting a check to help take care of, but I yet still had to send gas money, buy food. Look at page 40 through 49 and page 53 where I would have Sam's Club ship the stuff to the house when I couldn't go there. He can't say that he never did get it. If you go back and you look at on page 25 through 31 and page 51, you will see where I sent him the money through Western Union. He collected the money, then had to give him gas money to go to the store to get the food, to put it in the house, and then sent his son some money.
Yeah, he
And then
crackhead.
he
You're right. He's
That
still a
was- that was
crackhead.
your mother. I've had a job my whole
and then
And
on
stole
top of that,
from your mother, too.
I didn't steal
didn't
You
wanna take
have.
my
You're a
mom.
crackhead.
He didn't want
I
to take
believe
her
you're a
to Dallas.
crackhead.
He didn't want to take her to Dallas
I've never done anything.
without getting no gas money. Told me the car was broke down. He needed some new tires. wired him $900, and then he smoked that up too, and still didn't get the title.
You never bought me anything.
Tell me, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
I heard all this.
You never bought me
Okay.
anything.
Oh yeah, I did.
You never bought me anything.
Well, paperwork don't
You never
lie.
bought me any tires for my car.
Okay, and I didn't ship you no money neither, right?
You ship money
Ma'am.
for your mother.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Because your-
Okay.
Paperwork,
Your Honor.
nor videos from your mama don't lie.
Yeah.
All
Your
right.
Honor, you should also know
What's
that my
the
mother
eviction
was
for?
diagnosed
What's the
with
wrongful
dementia.
eviction?
The wrongful eviction is that on September 6th, a warrant was put out for my arrest because I had missed a court date. My court date said the 26th.
What'd you have to go to court for?
Because I had a 12 gauge in my car that had broken and the shells were stuck in it.
Oh, okay.
I had a gun card. I was legal to have the gun, but I didn't have a concealed carry.
shotgun?
Yes, it was a shotgun that had broken.
That's the gun I threatened
The
him
pieces. The
with. That's
pieces.
what he said.
The pieces
All right.
of the gun. Some pieces broke out.
So
of
what
the
they
gun.
do to you?
They gave me $1,000 bond and I've been free and we go to court.
So how's that relevant to the date to being put out?
Well, I was just saying I had a warrant. I was arrested on the 7th of February. I was in jail for 1 week. Before I went to jail, there was no problems at the house. No arguing between anybody. I get out 1 week later and something ensued between my younger brother, my sister, and my mother. Now, I'm in jail. I had done nothing.
Your Honor, ask who bailed him out of jail.
7 days after I got out of jail, Your Honor, my sister threw us out of the house using the order of protection. On February 20th, my sister called the Kankakee Police Department, told them that she called them just to see if she could put me out. The officer asked me for my ID and my letter. I showed him that, and he turned to my sister and said, "You cannot put me out." She states that in her own order of protection on page 10.
So she has every right to put you out if they have a temporary restraining order. That's exactly what it's for. This is a restraining order in February.
And I won that.
Show me
restraining
that.
order.
Show me that.
I won that in
Which
court.
page in yours is it?
I won that in Kankakee
Where
County
is
Court.
it? In your
I didn't get it.
evidence. I know you don't. Man, don't give me them crack stories.
I'm not a crackhead.
Counting
Yeah, he a
anytime your
crackhead.
mother say
Yeah,
that
I'm
about
not a
you.
crackhead.
You know, he got his son living with a crackhead.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, I did have a
Ma'am,
problem.
what
I
are
had
you
to call
suing him for?
Because he had turned back around and turned my life upside down.
How?
Where I had to leave my business to come down there to constantly go back and forth to court, cleaning and taking care of my mama's house, just trying to just keep peace.
What
And
you
it
have
doesn't
to-
make any sense.
What you have to go back and forth for court?
For him talking about I wronged evicted
For
him.
the order of protection, Your Honor.
For order of protection for my mama because she
And
requested it.
who won that case?
It ain't a matter of
Ma'am,
one.
$2,000 for the emotional distress.
Yes, because this don't make any
And
sense.
$0 for you. I believe your mother. Your claim is dismissed.
You need to go to rehab. That's what you need
I
to
do not
do. You need to
smoke
go to
drugs.
rehab. Who tells their mama they don't never want to see her again? And when she's sick, who tells their own mama
You
that?
are a liar.
You called and told
You
your
are-
own
you know
mama
you the-
that.
you the
told your
biggest
own
liar.
mama that.
Plaintiff Ernestine Clemens says the defendant is her granddaughter, and she helped raise her. However, Ernestine claims after she agreed to pay for the defendant's furniture to be delivered, she discovered the defendant had tricked her into paying for the furniture. So she's suing for fraud. Defendant Jasmine Clemens insists Ernestine agreed to apply for the loan to purchase the furniture, and she never tricked her into doing anything. Jasmine's countersuing for defamation of character.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Jasmine, that's my granddaughter, and I love my grandkids. But what she did was wrong. She got furniture in my name without my permission. And
Now, how was she growing up?
well,
Trouble?
no, not, but I got them when they was like, she was like 8 or 9,
So you raised her.
somewhat.
You say I got them. Were they living under your roof?
They lived with me for maybe 8 months.
And so was she getting in a lot of trouble or not? Was she stealing?
Yes.
You're about to tell me she stole. I want to
Yeah.
know, are you the first? Because that's going to give me some insight as to whether she stole from you. If she steals regularly then and has throughout her life, I'm more inclined to believe you. If this
Okay.
is the first time and she totally denies it, you tell me she was an A student all her life or a good student, they don't have to be A, but a good student all of her life, never got any trouble, I'm saying, maybe she didn't do this. That's all. So you better talk
okay.
to me. And I shouldn't have, don't let me have to pull it out of you. I'm not going to believe you then.
Okay, Your Honor, I had to work, okay, and I had jewelry, watches, and stuff like that in the house. Walking out, you know.
When she was growing up.
I can't say she did it right.
Who else was in the household?
She had 2 brothers and a sister.
Okay. You had 4 crooks in the house. All
money's
right,
on the
go ahead.
brothers.
You
They,
definitely don't know who did it. Go ahead.
But I did the best I could with them because I had to work.
I'm not questioning your parenting, ma'am. I'm trying to get some history on her, but I'll
Well,
go to her. Why don't you
Jasmine-
tell me about yourself, ma'am?
Your Honor, I was not a bad child. I had hiccups, which every child does. My mom was very strict on me. And the person that came and saved me was my grandma. We actually had a relationship before this, Your Honor. I'm the black sheep of the family.
How so?
No one like me. Like,
Why?
you're an example. One time I had red hair and a half top and pants. I walked in, my grandma told me I looked like a slut. And it hurt me. So I ran out to the car and called to my boyfriend. So my boyfriend ran in the house like, why would you say that to her? You know, she tried to yell at the door, oh, I'm sorry. Literally the next day, Judge, my sister came, red hair, half top, pants. She said, oh, you look beautiful. I said, well, what's the difference when I do it? So every time I got
What did
dressed
she
up,
say when you asked what's the difference?
I did not walk out the house crying
Okay.
again because this is not the first time.
How old were you?
This was just last year.
Okay.
And I have never stole anything. I'm not a felon, don't have a record at all.
You finished school? High
Yes,
school?
I did. I have my high school diploma, Your Honor, a little college here and there. I'm just hurt that I'm here today. And the only reason why I'm here today, Your Honor, is because they assumed that I won $30,000 off a lottery ticket.
Okay, well, we're going to see. All right, ma'am, tell me what happened.
Okay, Your Honor. All false. Never call her a slut. I, talk to them when they come in looking, you don't look, that don't look right on you. You're supposed to be a lady at all times.
I agree. When my sons tried to pretend for the hot minute that they were inner city hood kids and they came in the house with their pants sagging and the big outfits in their head, whatever they were mimicking on the rap videos, when they came in trying to look like some of the thugs on the rap videos, I told you a wannabe thug. So yeah,
Okay.
I would say
Okay.
take that off. You ain't no thug. You're trying to play like you're a thug. So yeah,
That's all
I
I
would
was
refer to
trying-
them as looking like that. Now,
I don't know
perhaps
what they
you-
was doing once they leave the house.
But you told
Okay?
us what she looked like, presented herself as.
I
Perhaps
never
you should have
call
said
her a
it in a
slut. No,
different way.
never
though.
call her a slut.
Okay.
I have told her, Jazz, those are too short. Jazz, you supposed to be a lady.
I carry myself a lady
Okay.
at all times.
No.
Okay, let's get to the lawsuit.
Okay, the lawsuit
What
is
happened?
maybe a year, 2 years ago. Jazz came to me. She wanted me to co-sign for her car. I said, Jazz, I'm trying to buy me a house. My credit is not that good, and I don't want nobody pulling my credit because it's gonna pull the score down. Okay, she came back out, got in the car, said, Jazz, are you angry at me? No, Grandmama, I'm not angry at you. But all the time she was angry at me. Fast forward to the furniture. She came to me, Grandmama, I want my furniture delivered. It costs $50. Could you borrow me $50? I said, Jazz, I don't got no money. Grandmama, I promise you, Grandmama, I'm gonna pay it right back to you today. So I said, okay, Jazz, you're gonna give me my money back. What's your $50? So we goes to the store. So the lady said, well, she got to sign this in order for me to run her, take
Credit.
the money off the card. So I put the card in there. I signed one piece of paper. Came on back. I said, Jay, you gonna get my money? I'm going home now, Mom.
How much was that at that
$50.
point? $50 at that point.
To deliver the furniture. That was it. That was all I was supposed to give her, $50 to deliver the furniture. So I called her, Jazz, where's my money? Grandma, I'm gonna bring it to you. Never did. I called her again.
$50 was still on.
She still owed me the $50. So she came by one
That's
day
a
and
long
gave me
way from
20.
5,000. Go ahead.
No, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
The $50.
That's like 100 times more.
No. Jasmine is, they think they can not slick you doing stuff. So she brought me $20. Grandma, I'm gonna bring you other money. I haven't saw her since then. So I was at work. American Family, whoever those people are, called me and said, Miss Clemens, you behind 3 months.
American Household Finance Corporation.
Yeah.
They called me many times back in the day. Go ahead.
But these people,
I know that. In fact, I think I know their number by heart.
I don't want to know their number.
Go ahead.
But they say you like 3 months behind. I'm going like 3 months behind. I don't have any friends from you guys. Well, we deliver. Your name is on there. The paper, you got the furniture. I said, no, you delivered that furniture to Jasmine. That's Jasmine's furniture. So I hung up on them. They called again. And I just told them, no, I'm not paying for no furniture. Before I pay for some furniture somebody else done got in my name that I didn't know about, I'll go bankruptcy. I didn't want to go no bankruptcy. But if she was intending to do right, $50 a week, she could have paid that $50 a week and came and said, Grandmama, I'm sorry. I got the furniture in your name. I'm going to pay for it. She didn't make one payment.
So when you discussed it with her, what did she say?
I ain't talked to her. She won't come around.
Okay.
And she didn't answer the phone. When we tried to serve her a couple times, she was never at home, so they said.
How about when you gave her information to the authorities or to the company and said it's her responsibility? What response? Did they inquire with her about it?
They told me to go to the police station and get a police report and take it from there. So I went to the police station. They told me what to do. I went downtown. I had to pay money. People just around, and I'm not used to doing all this, For somebody to do something like this, I don't know how you go about suing peoples.
Correct.
And the furniture is $1,300. But now it's up to like $2,400, $2,500 because she never paid on it.
Okay, so how did we get to $5,000?
My credit report went down.
Okay, so for your credit damage.
Yes.
All right. Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Judge, that is the total lie. September 4th, I moved into my house. My boyfriend had already took this loan out for me before. Me and him ended up getting into a big, huge fight. He ended up going down there to cancel it. And it was my $50, Grandma. But anyways, I went to my granny's house. That's my backbone. When we need something, we go to our backbone. So I said, Grandma, I just moved in my house. I have no furniture. Can you please come put this loan in my name? I will pay for it with my card. My grandmother and her grandson got in the car with me. We went. We have to do the loan application before I can even pick out any furniture. My grandma gave me all her information, signed.
For the $50.
Your Honor, the $50, I paid that, and that was for delivery, and I came and got my furniture with my dad's U-Haul. They did not deliver the furniture to me at all, Your Honor. The $50 that she's claiming she put down was not for delivery. It was for the to get it started, to get the furniture started.
The fee.
The fee for the furniture, correct. To get the fee for the furniture. I didn't pay no delivery fee because I came to pick up the furniture with my dad. So the $50 she didn't even pay. I paid that. Now what was supposed to happen, Your Honor, I ended up moving in my house, getting behind bills. I was supposed to switch my card, which it has to be over 30 days. I was supposed to switch my card over from my grandma. If you can see where the company emailed me, page 6, that she emailed me, that was the last time I talked to my grandma, which was October 12th. My grandma called me, Jazz, you gotta get this out your name. I said, Grandma, you know I can't get this out my name. It's a loan. You took out a loan for me to get this furniture, Your Honor. The furniture is in my name. The loan is in her name. And I called the lady. She's like, I'm like, ma'am, it's not
Okay, we know we can't get it out your name. Now what?
Right, so what?
Payment.
Furniture. The payments?
Yes.
Yeah, I was supposed to switch the payments
That's what
over.
you're being sued for.
Right. I was supposed to. No, she's suing me for $50. She's.
No, she's not. Let me. I got news for you. She's suing you for 100 times more.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
100 times more.
Yes, I got that.
than you think.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, no,
I know you're shocked.
50, right? Okay.
I would be shocked too if somebody went from $50 to $5,000 on me.
Yes.
And I didn't know it.
No,
I'm in here. She's suing me by $50. What you talk about, Your Honor? No. Multiply that by 100, and you'll get a better understanding as to why you're here.
Yes, I know why I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay.
But that letter was to show I was getting to the payments. I called the lady. She was like, I just need to switch my car. She said, fine, I need your grandma's social security number. I said, well, I don't have my grandma's social security number. So I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to call my grandma and tell her to give you my car number and you can switch it in, because I didn't have my grandma's social security number. I called my grandma twice. She did not answer the phone. She did not return. I haven't talked or seen my grandma since that day. So when I called the lady, like, ma'am, it's not fraud. My grandma was there. She gave me all her information.
Who accused you of fraud?
The day that my grandma
The
called
lady did? I thought you said you were telling the lady.
When I talked to the lady, I told her, the lady.
That's what I'm saying. How did fraud come up?
Because when my grandma
No, the
called
lady. Who told the lady about fraud? Okay, and then the lady asked you about it?
No, Your Honor. Your Honor, when I called the lady, I said, ma'am, this is not fraud.
Hey, hold on. Stop right there. Did the lady ask you whether it was fraud? Or mention to you it was fraud?
Yes.
Okay, I just asked you that and you said no.
But it wasn't my grandma who said it.
I'm not asking about your grandmother.
Okay.
I'm talking about you and the finance company. That time they call you, wasn't fraud. I didn't do no fraud.
Right, no.
Is that how that goes? Because that usually means that's a confession.
No, I'm saying she's saying like it's fraud. I'm like, ma'am, it's not fraud. She said I know.
She alleged that in the letter?
What? No, this is on the phone, Your Honor. When I called her to switch the payments over.
How did she ask you? What did she say on the phone?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. So, but I was letting her know that
Did she accuse you of fraud?
No.
Did she say I'm inquiring about a fraud?
She said my grandma is stating that I committed fraud for the loan. But what I'm trying to say is when I was on the phone with my grandma.
I want to hear when you and the lady discussed fraud. That's where we were. Let's not go away from that.
No, I'm trying to say something. It's not coming out right.
It sure is.
The first time I talked to my grandma,
not the grandma. Did the lady, first time you talked to her, did she mention fraud?
No,
When did she mention fraud?
She never mentioned fraud.
Very good, because you told me she did. And why haven't you paid?
Because of this.
Because of what?
Because she's going around saying that I stole her identity. When we went to court, when I got my court papers.
Okay, and that's the reason?
What?
That you're not paying?
No, oh my God, I'm being
I just asked you, what's wrong with you? Are you some kind of crackhead?
No.
You act like you can't answer questions.
I can't.
You're giving me crackhead stories, and I guess you don't think I can see through them.
No, it's not.
$5,000, Grandma, is your judgment. I don't believe a word she says. I do believe she is a fraud. Your claim is dismissed. I believe nothing you say. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Amber Bolden says the defendant is her cousin, and Amber claims she's a rowdy partier who got kicked out of high school for fighting. Amber suing her cousin today for a loan and emotional distress. Defendant Octavia Tony admits that she likes to fight, but says Amber has no problem calling her when she needs help fighting other girls. Octavia's countersuing for harassment and hair services.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you. Give me some background.
Well, Octavia is my cousin. She was my favorite cousin. And we grew up together. I ended up living in the house with she and my auntie for a couple of years. She's a rowdy girl. She likes to party a lot. She likes to fight.
Not true.
She got kicked out of high school. And she had to go to an alternative school. We went to high school together, but she ends up getting kicked out.
Permanently expelled from her school?
Yeah, for fighting. She was only in the school for about a month.
One fight, and they put her in a different school?
No, she always had altercations. She just ended up having another fight.
Okay.
And they finally kicked her out. So I finally...
How about you?
Oh, I don't fight.
Okay, you didn't get kicked out of school at
No,
all?
I graduated on time.
She almost lost
problems, no fights.
She almost lost her prom.
Her prom?
Prom, yes.
It was some girls hating on me. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. She got
Did you
kicked out.
fight?
No.
She had me fight.
I don't remember.
And I got kicked out for it. Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Anyways, like I was.
You took the case for her.
Yeah, she called me. If my cousin called me and told me she didn't want to lose her prom nor graduation because they had already been talking about it. So she was like, "The girls are up here and they want to fight. Would you come up here and would you take this battle for me?" I said, "Yeah, I'm her cousin. I'm not gonna let nobody talk
Girl,
stuff to you."
you been having
And this is the thanks you get.
And that's the thanks I
No,
get.
she been having problems with that girl. Don't
She
know.
said she doesn't remember. First you didn't remember, now you remember.
Thank you. Thank you.
I remember now.
I had problems with the girl because of her. That's how they started.
No, you've been having problems with her.
No,
You've been having problems
these
with
were her friends.
So you've been having problems with her.
Go ahead.
So I just had to, she likes to get wild, like she just got wild now. So I just had to let her know I'm not the one to play with. I'm going to take you to court. I need my money. My birthday's
All right,
coming
we'll
up.
talk about the money in a minute. You tell me about your relationship with your cousin.
Me and Amber were like best friends. She was like the sister that I never had. I have two sisters. She came before them. Amber, when she turned 16 and she was able to get her first job, she just became this petty person. She changed. I started doing hair. I had just started out. When I asked Amber, like, okay, can you give me a little change for doing your hair? She told me, no, you're just starting out. I don't have to pay you yet.
I was her test dummy. She's telling the story.
So with that being said, this one she just got her first job, so she thought she was on. She wanted to stun on me. So for example, one day we go to Subway. Now I'm not gonna lie, I do smoke, so I used to spend my money on the things that I like to do. So I tell her we go to Subway. I say, Amber, I left my wallet at home. Would you be able to buy me a $5 footlong?
You left your wallet at home with no money. You didn't have no money in your wallet.
You didn't have any money in there?
I had money in my wallet. No, I had money in my wallet.
Go ahead.
I had money in my wallet.
So you asked her to buy you $5 meal.
A $5 meal. She was around her and her friend. She told me no and left me hungry. I'm thinking she joking. She said, no, I'm not buying you nothing to eat. I let her order her food. I said, I'm ready to order my food. I'm not buying you nothing to eat. And she proceeded to walk out the restaurant on me and left me there standing with her friend. So I look over to her friend. I say, would you be able to spot me $5 to give me something to eat? Her friend ended up giving me $10. And when we got back to the car, she had a problem that her friend gave me some money saying she likes to spend her money on this, that, and the other. You should have never looked out for her. And that was our first incident that made me look at her different. Like, okay, she's a petty person when she has.
All right, and so when you got your wallet, you paid her friend back to $10?
Yes, I paid her friend back. Yes, I did.
If you was hungry.
What day?
I want to say, I can't remember the exact day because this was some years
You can't
ago.
remember the day you paid her back.
I cannot. This was
Even though you had the wallet in your at the house that you could have paid her back 20 minutes later when you got your wallet.
They drive me out
You
the
need to stop smoking weed, one, because you can't afford it. Two, you can't remember your lies. And three, you can't even satisfy your munchies when you get them. So you got to depend on people for your munchies. Go ahead. Tell me about the loan.
Okay, so she came to me because she know I got a little change, okay? So she knew I was going to loan it to her because, like I said, she was my favorite cousin. So
Well, you have a good job or something, or?
I just save my money. I know how to,
Okay.
I know how to prioritize. So she came to me. She was like, if I get a reliable car, I'll be able to keep a steady job because, doing hair is her side hustle. So I said, okay, I was hesitant at first, but I'm like, if this would get her on her feet, I will loan her the $1,200 as long as she make a promise. That's why I have the note that she will give me my money back.
I do not remember that.
I know you don't. You remember nothing.
I do a lot for her, so that's...
What you do for me?
I do your hair.
But you never stated like, okay, well, I have to pay you for doing I was your test dummy. I was the one that got you on your feet, honey. Yeah, I was the first one.
That is not what happened. That is not what happened.
Tell me, ma'am, about the monies. Let's get to the loan.
All right, so I went to my cousin. I went to her asking because I know she's the only one that would have gave it to me, and because she had it. So I went to her asking her like, all right, would you be able to loan me $1,200 for a car? She asked me like, what is this car for? She thought at first I asked her for $2,000. She told me no. Like she flat out said no. I'm not giving you that much money. So I asked her again. I'm saying, all right, well, can I get $1,200? She said, what do you need $1,200 for? I said, I need the $1,200 for a car. I'm trying to get back and forth to work. I don't have no transportation. I don't like taking the bus and the CTA because a lot of things be going on. So she tells me like, okay. At first she was hesitant about it. I really had to beg her for the money. She ended up agreeing like, yes, you can have the money or whatever. So she tell me like, she told me that, when you get your income taxes back, that you can pay me my money. I don't remember that at all.
It was the weed that was talking to you. That's why you don't remember.
I don't remember that at all because she's very silly. She was not firm about it. Oh, pay me my money back at this time. She never said none of that.
So why you signing a note? That's your signature?
I signed the note. I don't remember signing that note, and I'm gonna say it had something.
Right.
It had something
Girl
to do.
child.
I did smoke a lot of weed, and I was drinking, and I was partying. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I wasn't. I had a little.
Okay, you don't remember whether you paid her back. She remembers that you haven't, right?
I said I
It
paid her
says
back in
if you-
hairstyles.
Hold on,
Your
pardon me?
I paid her back in hairstyles.
Okay.
But we never agreed upon that, Your Honor.
What was the
Well,
agreement? What was the agreement on the hairstyle?
Okay, so when I first started out doing hair or whatever, she was my test dummy. But when I started getting better or whatever, she paid me twice before. So I'm figuring, okay, if I owe you this money and you've paid me twice before this time that you gave me this money and I do your hair, just because I owe you doesn't mean you don't have to pay. So she's coming to get her hair done. Yes, I know I owe her. She's not paying for the hairstyles. I don't do hair for free, and she know my
Well, you
situation.
should have said that, honey.
You knew my situation, so you knew I wasn't
is your
doing hair for free.
situation?
I fell out with my best friend for not doing her hair for free.
How many times did she do your hair?
I don't even remember.
3. Over the course of what time?
But this is from when she first started. I think she did my hair when I was a junior in high school. Like I said, she wanted to get started in
Over
the hair
the course
business.
of what time has she done your hair?
I don't even. I'm old.
Okay,
I
you don't
know.
remember either.
From
She
this-
knows. When one person doesn't remember something and the other does, I'm going to go with the one that remembers. Now I'm skeptical about whether you remember telling her you'd pay for it or not. Go ahead.
So from the time that she loaned me the money, which was in July, she got her hair done 4 times.
4 times.
Yes.
And that's
is the
$1,200.
amount that
Ooh,
you
baby,
believe.
Mary gets
And
paid.
how much?
Okay, the weave and color that I did for her was $180. I did a sew-in for $200. Then I turned around and did another sew-in for $200. Then I turned around and did a ponytail with the hair included for $150.
Okay.
Where you get these prices from? I want to know.
What do you mean? These are my prices.
Girl,
Okay. And you thought all this was free, huh?
if you don't say I want you to pay me, or can we work out an agreement because you owe me? I owe you $1,200.
The time before this,
gonna assume
before
that.
she loaned me that money, she paid for her hairstyle, which was a sew-in, and she paid me $200.
Why would you think you could get $730 worth of free services?
When she's talking about when I gave her money for my hair, I offered her the money. She never said you have to pay me for your hair. She's pulling this out
Your
of her behind.
counterclaim is for hair services. What's the harassment for?
The harassment is for because she went to Facebook bashing me. I have the evidence of that
About
too.
what?
She went to Facebook about the hairstyle, saying that I owe her money, and she was telling me she made one status and said she's going to call the board. I don't want to read it out because of the language she used.
Call
but
the board and say what?
she said Susie Mack better have my money, or I'm gonna call the board of Chicago on her. Try me, little B. That was one. Then she made another post saying May 11th. She made another post saying I'm really trying to understand why Susie Greasy Knuckle ain't paid me my money. It's almost been a year and I haven't received a penny. It's time to blast a Mall Town gutter rat.
Ma'am, what do you say to those things?
So first of all, the reason why I did that is because she continuously to ignore my text messages, ignore my calls. So I feel like this gonna get her attention. She's on my page, so that's why I said
Got her
those things.
attention, that's for sure.
And I just said I'm
Got
gonna call the
mine
board of
too.
Chicago because
That's
Got my attention too. What is the emotional distress you're suing for?
I'm repeatedly asking her for my money. My money that she owes me could have been winning on my birthday, which is, coming up very shortly.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have
So
to
you
keep,
want emotional distress for collections?
I'm stressed out because I keep have to ask you. Why do I have to?
Stop asking. You don't have to write one letter and then bring it here like you have. You didn't have to keep asking. That's what you chose to do. And remember, you manage your money so well, you come in here big time in me. So what happened to being big now? You can't be big and you can't be big and small at the same time. Which one you gonna be today?
I could be
You're gonna be big or small today?
I could be medium. So
and medium people get what they're entitled to.
I need my money.
And
So
that's what you're
basically-
gonna get. This $1,200 she borrowed from you.
Your Honor,
That's your
like, I need my
judgment.
money.
And with regard to your harassment and the hair services, $730 for the hair services, I believe she owes you. She was unreasonable even to think she could come in here and tell me that she was entitled somehow to $730 worth of free services and her money back.
No, first of all,
wow,
those
that's a
prices
good
she made
deal.
up. She made up those prices. She don't
And
even-
your judgment, ma'am, is $2,000 for the harassment and the hair. You can't post anything on the internet that's either defamation or it's invasion
Thank
of
you.
privacy.
Thank you.
reasons.
My knuckles
I
was
got that.
greasy.
$1,200 for you, $2,000 for you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You know what? And you need to tell your auntie to have my money because I'm gonna have her on here too.
My auntie on you doesn't have nothing to do with
Listen,
me.
at the
You
end of
was
the day,
living in
y'all
our
like
house.
borrowing
You was
money,
living
don't
in our
pay nobody
house.
back. But it's okay.
You
It's
living-
okay because I need my money. I need my
You were
money.
living in our house. We helped you.
Okay. Now help me get my money.
Plaintiffs Lonnie Medley and his wife Lisa say the defendant is Lisa's son, and he married his wife, the co-defendant, a month after they met because she claimed she was pregnant with his child. Lisa claims she never believed that her son fathered the child, but the defendants refused to take a paternity test. Lisa and Lonnie are suing them today for stolen property. Defendants Adam DeClue and his wife Tabitha say Lisa has never liked any of the women in Adam's life, but as soon as he breaks up with them, Lisa becomes their best friend. Adam and Tabitha claim they filed a restraining order against the plaintiffs for threatening them. They're countersuing them for lost wages.
Start with you all.
Yes, sir. Adam DeClue is my son. Tabitha DeClue is my daughter-in-law. I never have gotten along with Tabitha DeClue.
How long have they been married?
I really don't know.
How long did they date before that? You have no idea.
They dated for a couple months before they got married.
Okay.
They were together 2 weeks. She claimed she was pregnant with my son's child. I never believed it was my son's child.
Was it? Is it?
They never have taken a DNA test. Have been given ample chances.
That means they're convinced that the child is theirs.
Well, I'm not convinced the child is his, but that's to their...
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because she's known as being promiscuous in the town they're from, so...
This is mama-in-law interfering. I don't know how long they were married. Yes, you do. How long you all been married?
A little over 2 years.
You knew that.
No, really, I have not. They got married...
You know everything else about them.
No.
You know about the baby, you know about her.
Nope. I really, honestly did not know how long they've been married.
What don't you like about the woman?
I just don't like her. She just puts her nose in where it doesn't belong.
Oh, really?
I might have said it.
All right, let me ask her, what's the deal on you and your in-laws?
We got along at first. When Adam and I first got together, we got along, and I was going to move in with them. We decided to move to Belgrade because of a different situation. Whenever he told his mother that he was moving in with me, she went off on him and that we were getting married. And ever since then, we've done nothing but butt heads.
It's because I got married, Your Honor. She does it every time. My other ex-wife, hated her.
Time you moved out?
My daughter's mother hated her. But when I leave them, they're best friends.
Ma'am, you hated all his exes
my son,
while they were together?
No, I did not hate him.
You never had a problem with any of his other exes?
The first one I did.
All right. How about the second one?
No, the second one we even drove at the time we lived in Texas. And we drove from Texas to St. Joseph, Missouri for his wedding.
Now my son's mother's getting married to my stepbrother, which is Lonnie's son, and they're forking all the money for the wedding.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Tell me how they owe you for stolen property.
Well, we had allowed them to move into our home, and I did not know they were not supposed to be living with us, so it caused us to be evicted out of our home.
Why weren't they supposed to be living with you?
Just our landlord.
Right.
Oh, got it.
He did not want them living with us. So
Certain number, only one family.
Right.
Yes. And so they moved out. They moved down to their house in Belgrade, and Adam said, well, we had come to the agreement that we would move down in their basement. We paid all the bills. We paid the internet. We paid the phone. We paid for everything. But anyway,
satellite.
I cooked and cleaned for everybody. I worked 3:30 in the evening to 2 in the morning. I would get up, do dishes, clean house for everybody. Nobody helped me, did nothing.
So why didn't you get your own place? If you paid for every single bill, if you could afford that, you cooked and cleaned for every single person in the house, and you worked. Why would you do all that as opposed to just going and using that money on yourself?
I wish we would have.
Your Honor, she never paid one incident of rent.
Nope. Ask him.
He's going to say, yeah, you know that. You got him, so.
I did.
No.
He said a word.
He wanted to live there because it was
my aunt's farm.
He wanted to live there in the country.
All right, stolen property. Tell me about that.
So in May, I'd had enough. They left us. They asked us if we would watch their kids while they went to the races. I said yes. So they left us with 2 screaming kids, which was my grandkids. I had just about had a nervous breakdown that evening. So they left me with no milk. So I went and they left me their debit card. So I'd ordered us a pizza for supper. So they left me with no car seats, no nothing. I grabbed up the debit card, ran down and got the milk.
Man, we're supposed to be talking about this stolen property I keep asking you about.
And so I came back and I bought the pizza with their debit card because I forgot the wallet. And so he texted me the next day about me buying the $10 pizza with their debit card. So we got into it over that. So
Your
the
Honor,
next
I didn't
day,
steal anything. That's what she should say.
Hold on, sir, don't interrupt. She was just about there. What? Stolen property.
well, in lieu of this $10 pizza, they go and get a restraining order against us.
They went and got an ex parte against us.
Right.
So to get us to move out of the house.
Why?
To keep our property.
You said something about the pizza having something to do with it.
Right. Because they had a fit because we bought a $10 pizza with their debit card without asking them.
So they put a restraining order on.
So him and I had got into it over that because they had used our car the week before without putting gas and stuff in it. So I had bought some mulch.
There you go. I don't care about no mulch. Now you want to talk about mulch. What does mulch have to do with it, ma'am?
Skip that.
Well, we had planned to move out. And I was not leaving until I removed that mulch from the flower beds. So when he left that day, he seen me removing the mulch, so he come and grabbed the shovel out of my hand and hit me in the shoulder with it. And then I went by the house and got the broom. He spit in my husband's face and was wanting him to hit him.
Give him some tissue, please.
And then they left. So then somebody told them if they got a restraining order against us, they could keep our property and we wouldn't be able to get it back, that we could only take our toiletries, our clothing, and our medicine. So, and that's what they were after, was our property. So they went and told the judge that my husband threatened to kill him, that I was threatening to kill him. So when my husband went down to the house, he was served with the restraining orders, 3 of them. So him and my daughter was only allowed to get our toiletries, medicine, and clothing. Thank goodness that morning he got our RV, or we would have been homeless.
And we did, after we got stuff with the sheriff there, we took a video, which you do have.
Okay, let me take a look at the video.
That's evidence. Okay, that's going through the one room. You can see our stuff that's in the hallway and in the bedroom. That's in our living room where everything was just scattered around. That's her jewelry. If you see it right there, there's her jewelry box, and everything where her rings was in.
That's gone, you say?
Yes, that's all gone.
He took all my rings.
Okay, when you've asked about it, what has he said?
Actually, Your Honor, we have not seen him since the court date in August.
All right. Sir, what do you want to tell me about all this?
Your Honor, that's my mom, Lisa, of course, you know, and my stepdad, Lonnie. I haven't had a good childhood with my mom. Let's just go like that. We've moved 20 plus times since I was growing up. I've never had a stable childhood with my mom. My mom, she's notorious for writing bad checks and running from the law. My mom hid in a box one time because the cops were after her at my stepdad's mom's house.
That's pretty innovative. What was the box?
In the closet where the furnace was.
Okay. All right.
Well, that couldn't even be true because she had a wood furnace. The wood furnace was in the basement.
Y'all throwing me off. Let's get to the stolen property, sir. Y'all throwing me off with all this nonsense. Stolen property.
Stolen property.
What happened to the property?
Your Honor, We got told not to go in the basement by the police, by the judge, by them. We did not go in the basement.
Who had a key? Who else had a key?
Nobody. No, I didn't have a key to the basement because.
So what do you think happened? Speculate.
Your Honor, she was low on funds, maybe pawned the rings, because she does that a lot.
Well, give me a list of the items.
Here's the receipt for the ring.
Your Honor, whenever we went back down there to receipt to get ours when we were moving out, there was the screen to the bedroom window. The bedroom they were in the basement was laying on the ground and the window was open.
Entertainment center. So you think what happened there? Someone broke in and took it out?
The entertainment center was downstairs.
Okay, and you think that perhaps they broke in, or she had someone break in
Your
and
Honor,
take it out, or you just don't know?
I apologize. It was on the porch.
On the porch? How
Yeah.
did it get on the porch?
Because that's where they put it.
Did you all leave an entertainment center outside?
No, we did not.
What'd you do with the entertainment center?
It was actually upstairs in the living room, and they moved it downstairs.
Okay, how do I know who's telling the truth? Give me some evidence, you guys. Evidence, some communications.
I mean,
What's your counterclaim for lost wages? How do they owe for that?
They're taking us to court to sue us, and we're having to miss work for it.
They chose to come up here, but Your Honor,
And the property is all still there, you're saying?
At that house?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. They went and got their stuff after we moved out.
We moved out. We moved out, and then they came.
When you moved out, you saw the entertainment center on the porch.
Yep.
And you just walked right by it.
It wasn't ours. We weren't going to touch it.
And you say they're the ones that put it outside.
Yes.
No.
And how long after they left did you all move?
We moved out the beginning of August, around the 6th.
And when did you all leave?
we had to be out in May.
So from May through August, it was on the porch?
Yes.
we
And
didn't
you all
tell
walked by it every day from May through August.
Yep.
Well, I just don't think y'all that trifling to leave something on your porch for 4 months, an entire entertainment center. I
Your
don't
Honor,
believe you. So I believe them instead. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed for wages. You were rightfully here. Have a good day.
I have nothing to say to him.
I hope to never see her again.
Yeah.
Not even when she goes in the ground.
He's not my son.
Yep, exactly.